So this is a story about the time that I was incarcerated with this lady named Kimberly Lucas, and she did an absolutely unspeakable and horrific crime. You can Google it. It's Kimberly Lucas. But basically what ended up happening, she was like a therapist lady, and she had a girlfriend, and they were breaking up, and she basically told the little boy, oh, we're going to go to the zoo, and you need to take these medicines so you can get stronger, and gave him some anxiety medicine, and luckily he lived, but he woke up and found his sister in an unspeakable condition. That's all I can say. And she was a little baby, like 2 years old. But it was my first time in jail in West Palm Beach. It's called Gun Club. It's a really, really nasty and horrible place, but I was really crying bad, like crying so bad that I had to go in the psych section that they had, and that's where Kimberly was. I'll put a picture of her up here, but when I saw her, she looked a lot older. She had like gray hair, and she didn't have any teeth either, and she was chunkier. And my first time talking to her, I was like dumb and stupid and naive. I thought you could ask these type of questions. And I said, where do they keep the unalivers in this jail? And she was like, don't you ever ask that again. We're all in blue. We're all the same. And you could be sitting right next to one and you wouldn't even know it. And it turns out I was. I definitely thought that was weird, her saying that. But then another thing I remember about her, she had a lot of family support because she had a lot of commissary. She was always using the phone. I remember she liked to watch tennis. She would all force us to watch tennis. And most of the people in there were like, half out of it, so they didn't even care. And she was one of the few people that I could actually talk to, so I did talk to her a little bit. And she gave me one of her cookies. She gave me some deodorant. It's honestly disgusting and revolting to me to think I took something from her, and she did that. And the fact that I had, looking back now, the fact that I had found myself in a place where I'm taking deodorant cookies from someone who, you know what I mean, it wasn't a good feeling. And she had said, because I had said something about not getting along with my mom, and she was like, oh yeah, I'm really interested in that. I like helping people, and I'd like to hear more about that. Luckily I never hit her up to finish that convo. But another thing that she had said, I remember before I left, she was like, yeah, don't ever come back or I'll F you up or something, which I thought was kind of laughable because she's an old fat woman, but I guess she's got a really dark streak. So but I never went back there. And she got life without parole, thank God. She tried to say that she had multiple personalities. I'm pretty sure she had the same lawyer as Casey Anthony, but she did get life without parole. And I feel horrible for the family that has to live without their baby girl because she is a sick, evil freak. And it does make me sick that everyone was so chummy with her, the guards and everything, and that she had some power in that crappy jail, as crappy as it may be. And I hope she's doing horribly now, or I hope she's repenting. And I feel horrible for the family, like I said. And I definitely was horrified at myself that I was there and I was talking to her and that I accepted anything from her. And one other thing I think I said also, I remember I asked her, because I was curious, she seemed like a nice old lady. She said she was a therapist. And I was like, why are you here? And she freaked out again. And she was like, don't ever ask anybody that question here. You do not ask that. And that is true. You don't do that. But yeah, that was my story about how I had to interact with somebody that was actually truly evil. And it's scary. So thanks for listening. Bye.